Hi, this is Nick with Kognitos, and I'm here today to talk to you about statement reconciliation. So the way that the statement reconciliation process works is it's also known as a cash application. We have a remittance received via email, and that remittance comes in the form of an attachment on that email. And Cognitos will be used to extract data from that remittance when it comes in, and then extract data from the ERP, and then take both data sets and compare them. Based on that comparison, we will output the results to a user, whether those results match or not. So now that I've given you an overview of what this process looks like, let's go ahead and look at what this looks like in Cognitos. So here's the same process within the Kognitos platform. And as you can see, it's got this executable English as code right here. And what's happening here is we're getting the file from the attachment from the email, the file from the ERP. We're extracting the information, we're comparing it in all of these rows. Then ultimately we are emailing those results off in an email right here, whether they compare or not. Now there's a lot of text here. So what I'd rather do is show you how we can visually represent this process in our process flow visualization. So here you can see we have the input processing from the email, we have this SAP data processing coming in, and all this information coming in and being aggregated and doing some calculations to create the totals, and then converting the output table to Excel, and then sending that email off with the results. So this is the email that we'll send to start the automation. So um, attached to it is the remittance. So here's the remittance we'll be looking at. I'm going to go ahead and send this off. That'll start the process. We could also just as easily start this process with an API call. For demonstration purposes, we're starting with an email. You can see it's already processing. So let me go ahead and go into the exact same email that I processed earlier. On the left, you see all the code, all the English's code that's running. On the right, you'll see everything that's being logged. Here's the exact remittance that was sent in. You'll see all the information is exactly the same as when it was sent in. And if I go here and just click on some of these values on the right, you'll see the payment number. I can click on it and it'll show me exactly where it was extracted from within that document. So everything's completely auditable. We can also take a look at the table that was extracted from that document, so that we can make sure that everything lines up appropriately. And so we can keep going through and looking at different values like the ERP table or SAP table, and we'll see all the different values we'll use for comparison there. And then we'll see a number of steps that we're performing to compare all of the values, making sure that everything matches, and where it doesn't match, we note appropriately. And we're going to output this results table. And you'll notice the results table looks an awful lot like the table from the remittance, plus the ERP amount column, plus the payment match column. And this is very intentional. We want this to be sent off to the controller or the user to explain if it matches or not. Again, we could have this information being sent to a target system instead of an email, but here we're just sending that off, and here's what that email looks like. And we'll see the attachment here, the cache application results, where we see the exact same information that we saw in the results table within Cognitos, right? And so now that I've shown you what this looks like as output, let's take a look at what happens when you hit an exception. So in our exception center, we've designed this so that business users can resolve exceptions on their own. And in this case, we're looking at an exception on that remittance that says it can't find the first payment number, right? So what we could do is we could just simply select that number from the document and have that come back in the values here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that and instead compute an answer or teach a technique. And this is, I'm writing a single line to say get the document's first payment ID, right, and running it. And we're going to search the document and try and find it. There, it's found it. So now what I can do is I can tell Cognitos, I want you to keep this, to remember this and learn from this exception, so that if you have something like this in the future, we can use that going forward. And that's exactly how you would teach Cognitos how to continue processing from exceptions. And thank you for watching. I hope it's been fun for you. Have a great day.